coming up. The Yankees are postseason bound, and the Guardians make a huge statement in the AL Central. This is Locked On Game to Game MLB.
Every game, every team, every angle. Locked On Game to Game, your team every day.
The Guardians series with the White Sox has put the nail in the coffin for the White Sox this season as Cleveland completed a 4-game sweep last night. Locked On Guardians is riding that high, while Locked On White Sox is thinking about what could have been.
Remember a week ago when the sky was falling, when the Guardians were crumbling because a rookie pitcher making a second start lost and gave up 5 home runs to the White Sox? Well, then they took 4-5 from the Twins and sweep the Sox. Let's get out those brooms. I don't have a big one. I've got my mini sweeper right here in my desk. Let's just go sweeping, and sweep the White Sox, essentially wrapping this thing up. Guardians' magic number is 5 because 5 wins and or losses by the Chicago White Sox, and it guarantees they'll have the same record. They have the same record. Cleveland has the tiebreaker. They make it into the postseason. Shane Bieber continues to be brilliant. Get rid of one terrible start this year, and he has been one of the top 3 pitchers in baseball. We saw how good McKenzie was a day ago. You have to feel good about how this team sets up for the playoffs. They are peaking at the right time. They are clicking on all cylinders. Elite defense, elite bullpen, and enough hitting to win. If you're not excited by the Cleveland Guardians right now, I don't know what to tell you. Get excited. This team is heading to the postseason.
The Chicago White Sox lost to the Cleveland Guardians Thursday night 4-2. White Sox were swept by the first place Guardians at home. Hey, I'm Nick Morawski from Locked On White Sox. If the Sox were going to have a chance this year to win the division, they had to sweep the Cleveland Guardians. Instead, they were swept away. A lifeless effort on Thursday, pathetic effort on Wednesday. And Tuesday, the emotional loss in extra innings really kicked things off. Sox had no chance against Cleveland starter Shane Bieber on Thursday. Their offense too little, too late. A home run by Gavin Sheets is really the anything to get excited about for the White Sox. For what it's worth, the Sox will stay at home with a 3-game series this weekend against the Detroit Tigers. Lucas Giolito goes to the Hill on Friday night. Dejecting series for all White Sox fans. This is something that will definitely be talked about throughout the offseason up until opening day. How did you let the Cleveland Guardians sweep you on the South Side? This had so much at stake, and it was a pitiful, pathetic effort. For more, tune in to Locked On White Sox.
The Yankees make it playoff official as they knocked off their perennial rival, the Boston Red Sox, on Thursday. Locked On Red Sox and Locked On Yankees had the details.
Aaron Judge was held homerless by the Red Sox on Thursday, but the Yankees still won in 10 innings on Thursday at Yankee Stadium. Hey, it's Lauren from Locked On Red Sox. Michael Wacha did his job. The pitchers did their job, except Ryan Brazier, but that's been the story all season. And they held Aaron Judge homerless. He still has not broken the AL home run record, but still has 3 more games left against the Red Sox and still has plenty of games left to do that in the regular season. But the Yankees ended up walking it off in the 10th inning to clinch a postseason berth. Now, the Red Sox had their opportunities to put this game away, including a, you guessed it, bases-loaded situation where they just couldn't get anything done. But they were able to put runs across the board. They just couldn't hold on to a lead. Tale as old as time for this season. I will break down this game for you on Friday's episode of Locked On Red Sox.
This is Stacey Gotsoulias of Locked On Yankees, and the Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-4 in 10 innings. Josh Donaldson was your hero. He hit a single that scored Marwin Gonzalez from second. But let's be real. An inning before, everyone thought that Aaron Judge was going to be the hero. He hit a home run that looked like it was going to be 61 and that it was going to help the Yankees win the game, but it did not happen. He was so close. It was so close. That would have been unbelievable, but it didn't happen. He was 0 for 2 with 3 walks. His average is at 316, and Xander Bogaerts was 0 for 5, so he's at 314. So Judge's teammates kind of helped him out there by keeping Bogaerts from hitting. They also kept Rafael Devers from hitting, but they could not keep Reese McGuire and Tristan Casas from hitting. Why does this keep happening? The guys that you think are going to hit them don't hit them, and the guys that don't normally hit them hit home runs. Baseball is very strange in 2022, and I need someone to explain to me why. Anyway, Yankees win 5-4. They clinch a spot in the playoffs. Their magic number for the AL East division is now 6, thanks to a Toronto loss. And the Red Sox were officially eliminated from AL East contention, but, I mean, honestly, they've been eliminated since about July. So, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees wherever you find podcasts, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
A Baltimore rookie showing up Justin Verlander and Trey Mancini in his return to Baltimore. Locked On Astros and Locked On Orioles have more on an unexpected O's victory.
Well, I took a walk to Baltimore to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. But I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. And we faced Bradish, ooh, that's right. He is our kryptonite. That's right, tonight, the Houston Astros got me singing a song about Bradish and the Orioles. 16 2/3 shutout innings. Only 4 hits. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Justin Verlander only gave up 2 runs. Rougned Odor stunk it up by leaving the aroma of 2 runs on the board. And Mauricio Dubon, Justin Verlander's center fielder, broke up the no-hitter, but it was no go for the Astros. Trey Mancini tipped his cap to the crowd as the crowd welcomed him back, and they love him, but they also love the fact that he's on the other team, and their team, the Baltimore Orioles, beat the Astros 2-0. If you want more action like this and commentary on the Astros, stay tuned in to Locked On Astros. We're your team every day. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Apple, Google, Spotify, or the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. As always,
leaving a very windy but very exciting night at Oriole Park at Camden Yards as Kyle Bradish comes 1 out away from a complete game shutout, and the Orioles beat the Astros 2-0. Hey everybody, Connor Newcomb here, host of Locked On Orioles. The O's take the first of 4 games against Houston, and Bradish dominates again. He threw 8 scoreless against the Astros in Houston a few weeks ago. He threw 8 2/3 scoreless in this one. Almost had a complete game shutout with a 1-hitter, gives up a 2-out single and comes out. Felix Bautista finishes it, but he outduels the Cy Young favorite in Justin Verlander in this game. Just all the stuff was working. No walks, barely any 3-ball counts. He was ridiculous, and the Orioles win a huge first game of a series to keep their playoff hopes alive. I'll recap it all coming up on Friday's episode of the Locked On Orioles podcast.
The Phillies' playoff push got a serious bump with a 1-0 victory last night over the defending champs. Locked On Phillies has more on the close one in Philly.
That's right. Let's go, Philadelphia. Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies. The Phils shut the door against the Braves. They win 1-0 on Matt Vierling's sacrifice fly. Matt Vierling, who walked it off last night against the Toronto Blue Jays to snap a 5-game losing streak, is now the only RBI in tonight's game. The pitching was outstanding. Ranger Suarez was incredible. Jose Alvarado to close it was incredible. The defense was great. There's still some missed opportunities, but shutting out the Braves, well, the Braves offense has been struggling lately, but the Phillies have been struggling to win games at all. What a win that is for the Philadelphia Phillies. What a time for them to have it. Nola goes tomorrow. They have an opportunity to split the series right off the bat by winning the first 2, but getting that game against Atlanta after the way the Braves handled them in Atlanta in the last series these teams played each other is awesome. That's a playoff caliber win right there. A playoff caliber win. Red October is still very much in play. Check out more on our next episode of Locked On Phillies, wherever you get your podcasts.
Some rookies got a little bit of shine in an otherwise meaningless game between the Cubs and Pirates. Locked On Cubs has more on the future.
Cubs with a little win streak. They beat the Pirates 3-2 tonight. The story once again, Hayden Wisniewski, 6 1/3, 2 earned, gets the win, was really, really good today. Really flashing some not elite stuff, but elite qualities from a pitcher. He's got that mound presence. He's got that command. That slider's working. He was tremendous. Christopher Morel had a big game today. Michael Hermosillo, nice to see him have a couple of hits. And David Bodie stayed hot. Cubs win 3-2. But really, the main takeaway, Hayden Wisniewski making his case to be on that 2023 opening day Cubs roster and maybe even in the rotation. Go Cubs.
Coming up, we've got more action from around the league. This is Locked On Game to Game MLB. Today's edition of Locked On Game to Game is brought to you by Nugenix. Are you a man looking to get your energy back to counter the negative physical effects of aging? You might want to check out Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster with Testofen. Now you can get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T when you text MLB to 231-231. Text now and get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, their most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back into shape fast. That's absolutely free. Text MLB to 231-231. Again, text MLB to 231-231. Message and data rates do apply. Terms apply. Available at nugenix.com/terms. Welcome back to Locked On Game to Game MLB. I'm Kanani Stevens. Thank you for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. The long ball was the difference in Texas as the Rangers topped LA. Locked On Angels and Locked On Rangers break it down from both sides.
Corey Seager comes through in the clutch and puts the Rangers back in third place, the American League West, with a 2-run home run to give the Rangers the 5-3 win over the Angels in the 8th inning. I'm Bryce Patrick, host of the Locked On Rangers podcast. This was a thrilling comeback win for the Rangers, who were down 3-1 after 3 innings, got a pair of runs to tie it back up in the 6th inning, and a very, very big home run by Corey Seager, his 32nd of the season, off of a lefty. Fantastically done. It caps off what's been a kind of a rough stretch for him at home. It has been not as great as his early start to the season, the middle of the season, when he earned that All-Star selection with a torrid week. He is getting back on track, but that 2-run shot was very, very clutch for the Rangers. A decent start for Martin Perez. 6 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks. Was a little shaky. Was able to, as usual, work around having runners on base. A big plate appearance by Marcus Semien right before that home run. Worked a walk on 5 pitches. And was able to get on base, make it a 2-run shot. That way, Jose Leclerc could come in, get the save, and secure the win for the Rangers. For more, check out the Locked On Rangers podcast.
The Brooms were out in Denver as the Giants completed a 4-game sweep over the Rockies. Locked On Giants and Locked On Rockies have more on both of their teams' seasons that are winding down.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Hallelujah. Hey, it's JD from Locked On Cardinals, and it's over. Cardinals fans, the scoreless streak is over. The losing streak is over. The Cardinals get a victory today in San Diego over the Padres by the score of 5-4. The Cardinals, who had been shut out in 3 consecutive games, finally got on the board in the 5th inning thanks to a Lars Nootbaar solo blast, 13th tater of the season for him. And then in the 7th inning, with the Cards down 3-1, welcome to Slam Diego. Brendan Donovan goes, yeah, drops a salami bomb on the Padres, making it 5-3. That's his 5th homer of the year. First career grand slam at the major league level. Captain Jack Flaherty picks up his first win of the season after going 6 innings and allowing 3 runs while striking out 9. Ryan Helsley comes in the 8th inning and hits 104 on the gun at Petco Park. Are you kidding me? Does that in the 8th inning, does give up a solo home run to Manny Machado, but Giovanni Gallegos comes in the 9th inning, shuts the door. Great play by Goldie to end it. The boys avoid the sweep, which makes things all that much sweeter heading to LA for a weekend series against the Dodgers, which begins tomorrow. No home run for Albert, who was still sitting at 698, but let's focus on the positive. It certainly feels like a big weight just got lifted off of this team on Thursday, and their magic number drops to 5 with 11 to play. For more in-depth Cardinals content, join me tomorrow for a brand new episode of Locked On Cardinals.
That's all for today on Locked On Game to Game MLB. Thank you for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you subscribe to Locked On MLB on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, and also check out your team's Locked On podcast as well. I'm Kanani Stevens. This has been Locked On Game to Game.